Hi, I'm back. It's been so long that I sat here and I did an entire recording and realized that I never hit the record button. Oh man, I tell you, gotta love it, gotta love it. Well, I'm glad to be back. Had a little bit of time off because a lot of chaos going on, a lot of things going on in our lives, but I think we're finally at a point where life is a little bit more peaceful, things are more peaceful, and I can concentrate a little bit more on these videos and this ministry for you. So I'm glad to be back. Woohoo! I wanted to talk about last night when we were eating dinner. I asked our 5-year-old, "What do you want for dinner?" And she was like, "Ooh, I want tacos." She just loves tacos. Tacos are like her favorite thing. So we got all the stuff that we needed for tacos and we made tacos and we sat outside. It was a beautiful night. Sat outside and ate tacos. And we're just sitting there enjoying life and enjoying her little whimsical things that she says, like for instance, the taco shell, she calls them taco buns, and just, a little giggle here and there about how cute she was being last night. And then all of a sudden she says, "Do you have the gooder thing?" My husband and I looked at each other. "What do you mean the gooder thing? What's that?" "You know, the gooder thing, you put it on your food and it's so good that you can't even stand to eat it." And we giggled. That's cute. That's really cute. But I started thinking about it afterwards. Gooder thing. Hmm. It's so true about the gooder things. Do you have the gooder things in life? Are you living the gooder life? What I mean by gooder is not that your life is perfect, because no one's life is perfect. And don't be deceived thinking that other people are perfect and that people have perfect lives, because they don't. You don't know what goes on behind their closed doors. You don't know what is deep inside their heart and in their mind. You have no clue what's going on. They may portray one thing, but they go home and it's a completely different scenario. Or they might come out and portray how happy and giddy and joyful they are all the time, and but deep in their heart there's darkness and bitterness and anger and hatred living in there that they're not letting everyone else see. You cannot compare yourself to man. No man or woman should ever compare themselves to each other, because we're all flawed in our own ways. We're all sinners. So we can't compare ourselves to that. That is the wrong thing to do. So set aside everything that you know about everybody else and think about just yourself, just you and your life and your heart and your walk with God, if you have one or if you don't. Think about it. Do you have the gooder things? Are you so excited when you wake up that you can't wait to start your day? That you have your whole idea of what are you going to do next and what can you do to make everybody else see your gooder things in life? Are you contagious? Do you walk by people and they notice a change in you? Do they notice something different about you? Do they notice the extra step that you're making? Or like you're almost walking on air? Do they notice all of these good things in your life? That no matter what life brings you, all you see is the good? Yeah, those people that just drive you crazy because they're always so happy and giddy, and something tragic might happen, but yet they're still happy and they're still joyful. It exists. It really, really does exist. And it really, really can happen to anybody. So you say, okay, yeah, I'm a Christian and I accepted Christ and I go to church and I do the whole church thing, but I don't feel gooder than I did before. Well, something's not connecting there. Something's not quite right. So maybe you need to take a quick look. Re-examine your relationship with Christ. Because when you have a relationship with Christ, you always want the gooder things. You strive for the gooder things. You're looking for the gooder things. You are so involved and absorbed into the Bible that you're looking for something to make your life gooder so that you can make everyone else's life around you gooder. Yeah, I know my English isn't that great, but you know what? This comes from the innocence of a 5-year-old. The gooder things. There is such thing as the gooder things. You could have this life of the gooder life. No, your life won't be perfect. Yes, trials and tribulations will come to you. But you know what? You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You can walk through that storm. You can step on the fire, the coals of the fire. You can go through that as long as Jesus is beside you. And if you have that true relationship with Christ, you are always looking for ways to please Him. You take that old life and you throw it away. You don't want it anymore. Not because you have to, not because you were told to, but because you want to. He changes you from the inside out. You don't have to change before you go. You don't have to change before you accept Him. You can't do that. You are a simple human being. It is impossible. It is impossible. But Christ can do it. And there's so many aspects in my life that Christ changed. I can't even begin to pinpoint one or two or three or four or five or six or seven. I can't, because it wasn't me that did it. I didn't do it. It was Christ. It was all Him. Because I tell you, the things that He did, I can't do. The way that He turned my life around, I could have never done. I can't do things, but through Christ, all things are possible. Don't you want the gooder things? Aren't you aching for the gooder things? Aren't you sick and tired? Sick and tired of the life that you're living, of the stuff that happens day after day after day after day, of the anger, the frustration, of the hatred, of the disappointment. Aren't you sick of the bitterness that lives inside you, how you just can't seem to let things go or let things go that people did to you? You can't forgive, you can't let go, you can't love. Aren't you sick of that? Don't you just want to be free? Don't you just want to let it all go? Don't you just want someone else to take care of it? Well, Christ says He'll take care of it. Lay it all down before Him and He'll do it. He'll take care of it. He will. It may not happen in the blink of an eye, but I tell you what, if deep in your heart you have that relationship with Him and you want Him beyond wanting of wanting, He will make it happen. He will change you, and you will look back and go, wow, I can't believe that. It's amazing the things that He can do for you. You will become a beacon of light that no one can snuff out, that you shine when you walk in a room, or you shine above and beyond everybody else. And then other people are going, what is it about that person? I gotta know more. I want to know more. I want what they have. That's where you should be in your life. Jesus talked about you are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, you can't get that saltiness back. It's done. It has to be thrown out and trampled on. Have you lost your saltiness? Don't lose your saltiness. Don't lose it. Oh, we've got to get back to where Christ wants us to be. We've got to get back. We've got to get that fire back. We've got to get it back. We're drowning in our own sorrows. Don't you hate it when you talk to somebody and all they talk about is the bad things going on in their lives? Oh, where's the beacons of light in this world? Wake up, people. Wake up. Get the gooder things in life, because you know what? You do deserve it. You can have it. There is something gooder out there. Come on, grab it. Go to Jesus. Ask Him to give you the gooder things in life. Ask Him to forgive you of your sins. Ask Him to show you how to walk in the light and in the path and the way of His will. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid of what other people think. Because you know what? Deep down in their inside, they're going, man, I want that. Man, why can't I be like that? And you know what? Your example will be will be a life-saving change for them. You don't know how many lives you can touch. You don't know how many people you can touch just by doing what God asks you to do, just by following His will, just by digging into His Word, just by praising and worshiping Him, just by letting it go. Quit hiding it. Let it all go for Him. Come on, there's better things in this world. Let's show everyone else about the gooder things in life.